Welcome. Who's in the chat? Who's viewing it? I'm guessing it's Chris. Maybe Honey. Honeysuckle. Or Misty Cat. Hey guys, how's it going? Guys, girls. Send me a message so I know who's on it. Start here taking some readings of the old Geiger counter. There we go, Misty. Have I finished packing? About 95% done. Still got a few more bits to go, but yeah, we'll have it sorted by the end of today. Just watching UK kind of news. Oh, okay. I was watching. Who was I watching earlier? Well, who I skipped across? London Real. He was talking about how the government know they've messed up with all the figures and stuff, and they're not going to sort of back down and say that they're wrong because they look like idiots. And yeah, he was talking about how the figures from the WHO, if you break it down, it turns out that it's like 9 people died, but then people that died, they don't know if they're real numbers or not. What's happening, Chris? How you doing, mate? Yeah, they don't know if they're real numbers or not, or if it's just it could be anything that caused. If they've tested for something and it's come positive, then because obviously the test is a fraud, really. It's just not real. It's not designed for testing, as we all know anyway. Who else is in there? I've got 3 people watching. Just doing some rad testing. I want to check the radiation levels around here. If I put it on the ground, let me just flip my camera quickly. Hang on. Can I flip it? Don't know how I do it with this. More. Chris, you know how to flip the camera. How'd you flick it, mate? Oh no, not that one. No. Let's find a hotspot on the ground. Let's find a hotspot. Oh, here we go. Leave it there. It's not even going. There's no hotspots around here. Oh, what have I done? Yeah, there's nothing going. It's really low levels. Last night was weird though, because there was a huge mist that just engulfed the whole of my area. And Chris, Age of Darkness, was saying, "You choose your camera." Oh, right. Go to settings. Oh, okay. Yeah, Chris was saying that they'd been spraying like crazy over there in Scotland, and I was like, yeah, they're probably trying to move the clouds about. And then lo and behold, what must have been about 20 minutes later, I was outside walking the dog, and the sky was just like purpley pink. I took some photos and sent them to Chris, and then about 2 hours later, when it started to like the sun went, when the sun went down, and yeah, this mist just like engulfed everything, and it was like really really thick. And my Geiger counter was going quite crazy actually. It went up to like 0.40 millisieverts, which is really not normal. It's usually standard levels is like between, if I show you, it's between 0, it's 0, obviously 0.15 to sort of like 0.30. And it was like up at 0.4. I wish I'd had my phone because I weren't recording it at the time. I didn't have my phone with me. Yeah, I went to get a Chinese from takeaway, and I had my counter on me, and it was going off the hook. So we're not going crazy, obviously. Anything up to 0.50 is fine, or 0.60, but it was of normal levels. So yeah, there was something definitely going on last night. Oh, I've lost someone watching. Looks like a cow pat. But yeah, the levels have been a bit funny lately. But then you get days where it's nothing, and other days. Chris, that was a wicked stream you done earlier, mate. I've only live streamed now because I'm out walking the dog, and I'm with Amanda, so it's like, right, I'll just get the old live stream going. No one comes on my live streams, even though I've got over 200 subscribers. See, like 0.20. That's really low anyway. But it rarely even gets to 0.20. It's usually around 0.13. But yeah, as I was saying, yeah, it's Age of Darkness. It's going live on Friday with Neil Beckham. I might join for like half an hour because I'm going to be busy doing stuff as obviously I'm moving. But what was I going to say? Where was I going with the conversation? Yeah, as I was saying, Age of Darkness has got some fantastic stuff to talk about. There's some weird video he sent me about people's eyes glowing, which was really like strange. And then I was just talking to Amanda as well, Chris, if you're still there, mate. Oh, I don't know if Age is. Oh no. Oh, buddy's just having a fight with another dog. That's quite funny actually. They're like, put your dog on the lead. Fuck it. It's an open field. If the dogs have a little fight, they have a fight. But anyway, carrying on what I was saying, yeah. So yeah, whatever they've been spraying around, I was looking at the moon. I took some photos. I'm gonna actually upload them onto a video. There was like the moon was obviously the moon in the sky is just its normal self, full moon, but there was this like humongous halo around it, and it was like, what can I call it? It looked like a chemical spill in the sky, you know, when you've like spilt oil on the floor and then you walk with it. It goes in that sort of like multicolored spectrum. Jeez, man, getting wet feet from this grass. But yeah, so yeah, this mist descended, and yeah, as you're saying, misty, misty as it goes. And then I was playing a song on my radio. It's quite funny because it's talking about how this mist. It was a Bob Marley track. Think about mist in the air and stuff. It's proper weird out, like what do you call them? Like synchronicities. What's going on? But anyway, cutting a long story short from what I was talking about before, these glowing eye people, and then there's some lighting stuff where there's like technology in the lights, but I'm not going to go too deep into it because it will screw my channel. But yeah, there's a lot of gold and stuff they put in them, and if people knew the amount of gold that was in them, in these little devices that they've got on them, they would if they knew what was in these little light fitments, people would be stealing them, because literally there's about 140 pounds worth of gold in little pieces in these light fitments per light. And I know this because I've got a person that I follow who's been lucky enough to get given some of these devices to check out because they're not light sensors, they are hardware. I'm not going to say anything else. They're just hardware, which is not good for humankind. I saw that video. Yeah, they want to block the sun, so we will be spraying non-stop. Yeah, there's going to be a really bad winter coming, I think. My gut's telling me there is. My gut told me this back in 2010, and the amount of signs that I got shown. And it sounds crazy. I'm a nut job because I just get given these signs from wherever. They just come to me, sort of like a spiritual, just not I wouldn't call it a gift because everyone's got the gift. It's just tuning into set spiritual knowledge. That's how I can put it, because no one's better than anyone else. Everyone's got their own unique skill sets and whatnot. But if you happen to be awake to what the situations are, you kind of pick up things more than someone who just watches TV all day and is kind of in that sort of programmed mindset of not really thinking about things much, which is probably ideal for some people, I suppose. Or not for some people. I prefer to, I don't know, I'd say I prefer to be asleep than awake. I prefer to be awake, obviously, I'm awake. But to be able to forget about everything that's going on and stuff, it'd be ideal. But unfortunately, I can't switch my brain off, and I don't watch the TV. The only thing that comes up is news feeds on my phone, and I swear they target me with all sorts of rubbish on purpose to try and wind me up, and I just ignore it. And they're probably watching right now. For each subscriber I get on my channel, I get like a hidden subscriber. So like my numbers go up, but it doesn't show every subscriber. It says, oh, so and so is subscribed to you, but then I'll have 2 subscribers and I'll be like only showing one person that's subscribed. So I know that it's like a hidden subscriber. It's like someone's just watching my account, maybe. Who knows? Anyway, we'll have a look. What else? Same here, Lewis. Yeah. But yeah, no, yeah, I know. Yeah, what were you talking about? Sort of getting that sort of instinct about things. Yeah, it's like it's a knowing. It's been in plain sight for a long, long time as well. The plan's been going for a long, long time, and it's just been ramping up more and more and more. And yeah, call it revolution. It's not going to be a revolution. It's going to be a begins with C, of a lot of people, and yeah, we're just fortunate enough to go through it and experience it, which is quite an interesting thing to go through. I suppose it's sort of like an interesting time to be alive, but at the same time, it's a dreadful time to be alive. But I suppose yeah, it's just part and parcel of life. This has been going on for years. You've got to think about it. It's been going on for centuries, hundreds of years, since the dawn of man, I suppose, or time, or whatever. It's just been non-stop wars, battles, and people suffering. But then there's been happiness as well. So it's kind of like a cycle, I suppose, if you want to put it like that. Anyone want to add anything to the comments? We've got 4 people watching. Who's in the chat? Give us a little message to say you're here, so that I can, or ask me any questions you want to ask. Who in the who's watching? Who's like sort of who's, should I say, spiritually tuned in? Who picks up on sort of call it like visions? Who has visions or weird dreams that come true and stuff like that? Is there any of you in there who pick up on stuff like that? Because I had dreams back from the age of around I don't know, about 8 years old, 9 years old. Oh, you're still here, Chris? Sweet, mate. See my numbers. I don't know how many people watch. It says 3 people are watching. Is that correct? Or is that just the numbers I'm seeing? I'll probably get dislikes on the video as well, but I don't care. Who cares? I'm only here to talk and say hello and just have a chat, really. My Geiger's still going off in my pocket. Let's see what the reading is now. 0.13. It's nothing, absolutely nothing. Last night was 0.40, which is high for what it usually is. But that mist that descended from the heavens was a bit weird. It was like a real thick fog, but the sky was purple and pink and whatever before. And Chris was saying to me, he's like, "Yeah, they've been spraying." I was like, "Oh, what?" Oh, yeah, they're just moving the clouds about because that's how they do it. That they have to seed the atmosphere, and then they use frequency to heat up the particulates in the air, and then that creates obviously the higher pressure systems, low pressure systems, whatever, and that's how they direct things. So, but yeah, obviously the mist as well is to do not only with that, but it's to do with particulates that they just want to push around and let us absorb into the body, Anyway, I'm gonna stop talking so deep. Let's talk about positive things. Anything positive happening to people lately? I don't have visions apart from one where I saw a cat attack me before it did. I just get intuitions about things. Yeah. If I all sorts of things used to happen to me when I was having we'll say experiences started happening when I was about 19 years old. I just started to try and predict numbers that people were thinking and stuff like that. And yeah, for some reason I started getting it right, and then from there it just sort of grew from that to guessing people's date of birth, not the actual whole date of birth, but if they tell me the month they were born on, I'd guess the date of that month, which was quite weird. That I've done it to so many people, and then I started just getting sort of premonitions about things and feeling sort of all sorts of randomness. So I suppose the more you practice it, the more in tune you become. And then it just got to a point where it was just too much for me. I was getting too paranoid because I just kept feeling things I didn't want to feel, And managed to stop it from happening by doing a few open speeches in my bedroom. My nan was some kind of psychic woman. She's a bit psychic in ways she could read people's cards and that. Literally get someone to shuffle a deck of cards, and then she'd be able to look at the cards and be able to tell them what's coming. And as weird as it sounds, I know it to be true because she couldn't do my mum, and her mates used to mess around and they'd mix my mum's cards with their cards, change them around to pretend it's not my mum's cards. And every time she was given my mum's cards, but she didn't know, she was like, "I can't read these cards." She just had to, there's no reason she just couldn't read them, and it was always because they kept trying to get her to read my mum's cards, but she just didn't know it was my mum's cards. It was like a block, something to do with people that are in your family. You can't do your own. It's weird. I've dreamed of something. I dreamed of flat Earth a couple of years ago before I heard of it, and I think it's true. I know something really bad was coming at the beginning of the year, and I don't watch news, so had no inkling of all this. Yeah, they're doing a lot of things. They're manipulating our feelings and stuff as well, Misty. I'm sure everyone who's watching understands that. It's you could be just minding your own business. Maybe you're playing on your phone and watching a YouTube video, and then all of a sudden you just overcome with this feeling of boredom, and it's why am I feeling so bored? It's there's this quench for to do something, but you can't. You're not quenching that feeling of it's obviously a chemical response in the brain. They can trigger it to make you feel you're bored or you're angry and stressed out, make you switch out on people for no reason. You just get anger come over you, and it's just sitting there bottled up, and you're not even angry about anything, but it's making you feel like that. And at the start of the year, before it all kicked off, I remember a few days of it feeling really panicky for no reason, and I wasn't worried about anything. And then all this thing about this fake thing that's going on, I wouldn't call it fake. Then it could be down to something, because I know a person who's suffered with damaged lungs from this supposed thing. But it's caused by oxygen deprivation, like the lack of it, or the lack of it being able to absorb into the lungs, and it causes scar tissue in the lungs. So that's what damages the lungs, and that it's all to do with other things. But there is obviously, you do get sick, viruses and stuff, but that's just natural human body responses to toxicology, toxic substances, things that you absorb through food and in the air and the water and stuff. Your body naturally cleanses itself, so that's why you get flus and colds and that. Yeah, it's a way of relieving them toxins from the body. Hence why you got such a crazy runny nose, and or you're coughing up loads of phlegm. You have 3 like, 5 down. I mean, nah, it ain't. It's Mr. Cecil, mate. That's who it is. Ah, no, it isn't. He always does it. He's the only person with 5 accounts. So, and it's always the same. It's always 5 accounts, or maybe it's 4 of him and one other person who's I thought was related to him or connected to him. But I don't care. Thumbs down, thumbs up, makes no difference. If you put your thumb up, that means you're a good person. If you put your thumb down, that just means you're boring. So, boring people. But it's all good. It's all good. It's all good in the hood. Probably watching me now. But yeah, I love everyone. I don't care. I don't care. As he says as well, or as everyone, as all people say, you got to just love everyone the same. And whether you disagree or agree, everyone's just on this planet together. No one's better than anyone else, and that's just the way it is. Like, we're all going to end up. I'm not going to say we're not all going to end up dead and buried. We'll probably end up incinerated somehow, or we might get blown off the planet if something smashes into it, and all the people on Earth just get incinerated, and puff, a bit of smoke goes into outer space. Could it be us, particles of us, floating around in space for eons? Yeah, I don't bother that, honestly. Oh, Chris, I think I get hairballs. It doesn't bother me, Chris. Really, it doesn't bother me. I don't need to stress out about anyone. Like, my life is perfectly good. I enjoy every moment. I'm in the present moment. I'm out. I'm doing my own thing. I'm not always on the computer. Like now, I'm just doing a live stream because I ain't done one in a while. Wanted to just say hello to people who are logging in and watching. Oh, someone's got a little whistle. Yeah, of course. It's just that everyone, like, I've done a lot of. Hang on, let me just move. I've done a lot of spiritual practices in my time on this planet. Like, I'm 33 in December. Still a young boy. I want to say a boy, young adult, but I'm old enough to learn, and I have enough knowledge to understand that everyone is on a different path. Everyone's on a different journey. Everyone's life is meaningful to them, yeah. And anything they push on someone else, or their views on someone else, is a reflection of themselves, yeah. So they've got insecurities and they're stressed out, whatever. They mimic that, and it's something they push towards you. So it's not actually you who's the problem. It's themselves dealing with problems, you know. So I've learned that, and I've learned that everyone's on a different level in terms of like growth. So for those who can kind of learn from what's gone on, or learn from their mistakes and then move on, they're making steps to like become a higher level of consciousness, yeah. And that's the path I'm on, is moving up, yeah. I'm not moving down levels, I'm moving up. But saying that, I'm not perfect. Like, I still make mistakes, and I can still be a freaking idiot at times. I piss Amanda off sometimes, like, for no reason. Just because it's like, whether it's because it's me as a person, the chemicals in my brain, or the way I'm hardwired, or whether it's from outside influence, yeah, waves of whatever interrupting me as a person and making me act like an idiot, I still do things like that. I still piss her off. She does it to me though as well. It's a bit of both, you know. But it's like trying to learn from that and sort of stop that voice in your mind, control the thoughts that come through. Like, obviously listen to the thought, but don't act on the thought. That's the hard part about it. You can do it when you're in a good state of awareness, but when you're not, if you've had like a stressful day or something, it's more easy to like give in to the thought and then say something, or just and like act like a muppet. So yeah, it just depends. It all depends on mindset, and that's why you see all these people that do meditation like every day, and like literally just sit there and meditate or concentrate on certain things, and like they have a daily routine to like make sure they ground themselves, and you know, it really helps. It really helps in. Oh, we've got a little helicopter coming over. Let's have a little check. Probably looks like a police one, maybe. Don't know if you can see that. I think it's an ambulance, maybe, actually. Yeah, it is an ambulance one. It's got the fin on the back, certain fin on the back. But as I was saying, so I need to read some comments as well. I could be your mum. There's some people you get bad feelings about. I could be your mum. Sharing you out. Oh, cheers, Chris. So, like, you don't have to meditate. Well, meditation's, it's relatively difficult. No, it isn't difficult. It's all to do with breathing. Breathing's like the biggest part of it, because when you do breathing exercises, that makes your mind slow down. And the more you can slow down your mind from thinking, the easier it is to like bring yourself to a state of peace and quiet. And that's what, obviously, you've got your monks that sit there and they're trying to keep their minds completely silent, because that's at that point is when you're able to either astral travel or get yourself into a higher dimensional state of being. Oh, cheers, mate. Hey, Dobby, setting in. So it's like with me, I haven't had much time to meditate lately, but if I lay down in bed, I'll just do some like a few deep breaths, maybe like 10 or 15 deep breaths in a row, but like in a controlled way, like a deep breath in and then just slowly release it. Obviously you've got to do it right, because you can there's two ways of going. You can cause yourself hypoxia, or you can cause the opposite, where you're taking on too much oxygen. But if you do it in a controlled way, which is what Wim Hof is, then that basically boosts your blood's pH, brings your blood pH levels up, which is beneficial for your body if you've got like any like bad muscular pain, or say like if you're suffering with cancer. Oh, it was me. Phone gone. Am I still on? Looks like it. Yeah, my phone just froze up then for a second. What's happening, mate? An intelligent life on Earth. How you doing? Is there intelligent life on Earth? That's got a good name. I like that. At the moment, I don't think so, man. I don't know. It's like a 50-50 split. Cheers, Chris. So, yeah, meditation's just all about slowing the mind down, taking some deep breaths, getting yourself into a state of like relaxation. And there's loads of videos on it on YouTube. Like, I could go into it if you want me to go into it. I'll go into how you can get yourself into a proper calm and relaxed state. Even if you're in a situation where you feel like you're dying, for instance, yeah, you can just control your breathing, control your body, you control you control your consciousness. So like you have to like sort of shut off parts of your body, so you can work from your feet, and every breath in and out, on the out breath you can imagine your feet are just like they're getting heavy, or your legs are getting heavy, and you're moving it up to your whole body, so like your body feels like it's sinking into the bed. That's the sort of version I go through. And then you can sort of imagine your feet are disappearing, so like you bring that up, and eventually you concentrate so much with the breathing as well that you're just focused mainly on your head, and your body feels like it's not there. And then once you're in that state, then you can bring your focus to your third eye, your spiritual eye, I should call it. And then basically that's where you start to see visions, and you can actually focus and have out of body experiences, but you have to do it in a complete still environment. You can't have noise, you can't have light. You can, you probably could have a bit of light, but it's not ideal. And you need to be in like a real silent environment where no one's going to start walking in, and because you need to keep as still as possible, and then the magic starts to happen. So that's if you want an out of body experience anyway, and I've done that of course several times. Right, yeah, I've done a video with Chris before, or my live stream with Chris. I was going to talk about it, but then it ended up, because we ended up talking about conspiracies instead. Where my missus gone? So I was just looking for Amanda. Amanda! I think she's over there. So yeah, but there's an amazing thing if you depend, like for everyone watching, the 3 people that's shown on my screen anyway. You know, like how you control yourself when you're having sex, yeah. And I say this because when you are making love or jerking off, sounds really bad. When you're relieving yourself, yeah, or having sex, what you're actually doing is you're controlling your energy centers. You're controlling where your energy lies. So you're pushing your energy with your own focus. Yeah, this is how it works. And many people probably know this anyway, but you're pushing that focus down and you're manifesting more energy. Am I still there? My screen seemed to have frozen. Let's give it a second. No, I'm still on. How's my picture? Let me know if my picture's still good. Then I can continue what I'm saying. Everything good? Is my screen good? It takes a few seconds for the camera to, not the camera, the chat to show up. So I'll just continue anyway. So when you're making love, or as I said, relieving yourself, you're manifesting that energy. You're focusing it, and you're drawing that energy down to your navel chakra. I think it's your navel chakra, one of the chakras, but you're pushing it down there and you're focusing it. And the more that you focus it, you get to that point of climax, yeah. And that's the same thing that you do when you're meditating to your third eye. If you want an out of body experience, is you're cutting off the lower energy centers, and you're bringing the energy up to your third eye. So then it creates like an explosion of energy in your third eye, which is then the portal to the out of body. Or if you want to have sort of a lucid dream, you're focusing the energy while streaming back into your third eye, so then you can actually like be present in the dream. And that's sort of like what you do with practice. It becomes something you practice over time. So I was saying about, it kind of links into what I was saying earlier about the spiritual side of knowledge, and getting sort of like information, or doing spiritual work with someone. Where you're practicing to utilize your energy centers, you're able to control what you're able to control what you're doing, in terms of like it builds. It's like I can't explain it. It's like a ball of energy that gets bigger and bigger, and more the more you practice. Yeah, that's how I can kind of put it into sort of an understandable way. Right, Right, anyway, I'm going now because I've taken the dog back. But thanks for all tuning in, for all the people that give me a thumbs up. Love you. And for the people that gave me a thumbs down, love you too. Yeah, I don't hate no one, so just got to love everyone. Have a nice evening. Stay safe. Last night was a bit hairy, but today, hopefully, it goes well. And we have another beautiful day tomorrow, even though the weather's really shite around here. Sorry, mama swearing. But yeah, I love you all, and peace out. See you in the next one. God bless.